This is the Corona post show for the Vivo Rio Pro presented by Corona, and what a finale that we had on our men's side with Yago Dora taking out his first championship tour win, an inspired victory, and a 10-point ride on the way for Dora. The celebrations happening here at Saquarema. What a warrior, Yago Dora. Putting it all together. His girlfriend. Hey, and it's Kaipo. Along with Jesse Mendez, Mitchell Salazar. Corona Post Show, thank you for joining us. It was a long event here. We went to the very last day, but what a conclusion for this event, Jesse.
Yeah, that was amazing to watch. Both stands out all the way through the event, just picking the right ways, being calm, selective, and performing when they needed to.
Yeah. Mitchell, I want a couple of words from you to describe today, finals day.
Unbelievable, phenomenal, and I think most importantly, unexpected. You know, I didn't really think that Yago Dora was going to be able to pull it off. I was very glad that he was to be able to hold it under pressure. Kaipo, look at the image right here. It means a lot to this guy.
He's been battling, had to battle last year through an injury to return to the championship tour. Got that wild card, got back on tour, performing this year, and an inspirational performance. 2015 world champ Adriano de Souza with the congratulations there, Jesse.
Yeah, that's amazing. Just he actually spent a lot of time with Adriano when he first got on tour in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, because Adriano was working with Leandro Dora, which is his coach and dad. So it's just amazing to see that.
It really is a family affair right here, and hey, not just a fan favorite, but a tour favorite, Yago Dora. Let's take a look at our men's bracket and Yago's road to the final. First, Yago had to overcome a good friend in the way of Jadson Andre today in that quarterfinal, Mitchell.
Yeah, and then he had to beat a three-headed monster in the semi against John Florence, and eventually was able to take out Ethan Ewing in the big final. But what a great event. What a finals day, too. Kaipo, look at the names that were here in the quarters onwards.
Jesse, you know, we struggled through the early part of this event, but finals day really showed some beautiful colors here at Itaúna.
Yeah, and it was predicted. We saw the forecast coming, and it was the best choice to hold on all the way to the last day because the sun came out, period came up, and the waves are just amazing. Great left at Itaúna Point.
Yeah, incredible waves, also incredible performances, and the crowds, I think we went off the charts on this one. Perhaps 60,000 people here on the beach. Yago Dora just relishing the moment. I don't know if it's really hit him 100%. Let's take a look at Yago and his road to the final. Started this morning against Jadson Andre, Mitch.
Yeah, a good friend of his and two goofy footers out there in the water. If you guys recall this, he had a real slow start to this. He was able to garner and gain some pace throughout it and just dropped the hammer on a couple of these waves, dropped some big scores, and was eventually able to move through to the semifinals with a big performance early on.
This was a hard obstacle in the semifinal. Yago Dora having to come up against John Florence, who's been a two-time champ in Brazil.
Yeah, and this for me was the heat of the event. I knew whoever was going to make this heat most likely was going to win the event. It's just so stacked. When you have someone like John with that much experience in winning events, it's that important, and it plays a lot of factor into it. So good work there for Yago.
Then up against Ethan Ewing, Mitchell, in the final. It was a grindy start to this final for both Yago and Ethan, but then Yago just broke free.
Yeah, 4.83 on this right, Kipes. A decent score, but then the creativity of Yago Dora exemplified right there. A 10-point ride, only the second one we've seen all season long, and he did it in the final.
Cool as a Yeti 110 Tundra with that landing, stomping it, bolts. Yago Dora and the crowd, Jesse, erupted. Decibel through the roof.
Impressive, and I can only imagine how much he's feeling right now, how much emotions, just letting everything out. We saw that clip of him, he was crying. To get tears out of him,
you're right,
it's very impressive.
As we take a look at the numbers, and what's going to glare out right now is that 10-point ride, second of the season. First for Yago Dora on his way to a victory here in Rio. We're going to check out Yago. I want to hear from this year's champ, an inspirational champ. Yago Dora is with Maida.
Yes, Michael, congratulations, Yago. Your very first victory here in your home country. So how are you feeling? How happy you are?
Man, it haven't even sunk in yet. It's amazing. This week was something special. Best week of my life, I'm going to say. Even on the flat days, I had so much fun, and every day was special here, even when the surf was not good. And I don't know, I just had a feeling something special was about to happen, and it did. So it took a long time, but that first win came at the right time, at the right place. So I'm beyond happy. Nowhere else better to win your first event, and I'm so excited.
And talking about that 10, are you ready to fill your Yeti cooler for tonight?
Oh, that's true. Perfect place to get your Yeti cooler, right?
Yeah, so quão feliz você está em frente a essa galera toda? Dá um recado em português.
Cara, sem palavras, não consigo nem acreditar ainda em tudo que aconteceu. Essa semana foi muito especial, mesmo nos dias flats. Tinha uma vibe incrível rolando, eu me diverti muito todos os dias e hoje foi o melhor dia de todos para fechar essa semana incrível. E Saquarema, depois de Floripa, que é a minha casa, é o lugar que eu mais me sinto em casa e, pô, agradecer demais a essa galera. A praia tá completamente lotada. Lá de dentro d'água eu olhava para a areia e não conseguia acreditar que isso realmente ia acontecer e aconteceu. E agradecer a todos que me ajudam, minha família, meus amigos, patrocinadores, todo mundo que já me ajudou e torce por mim de alguma forma. Obrigado.
Congratulations, so let's celebrate. Back to you guys.
That's right. Let's celebrate. It's in the air right now. Like I said, topping 50,000 people here, wall to wall, up and down the beach. It's quite a happening. And you know, it wasn't just on the men's side that we had great stories. But on the women's side, a rookie stepped up and had to get past a couple of world champs on her way to a win.
Yeah, and a two-time champion at this event, too, against Tyler Wright. But you look at her way to the finals for Caitlin Simmers, had to beat Molly Picklim yesterday, and then Carissa Moore this morning, who had dropped an 8.83 yesterday afternoon. Katie just found a rhythm out there, and it just seemed like she was in sync with the ocean, Kipes.
Not just in sync with the ocean, but high-risk maneuvers on the outside, gecko feet, glue foot, just solid, being able to make it through. Let's take a look at Katie Simmers' road to the final for her second CT win in her rookie year. Tommy Whitaker had some words of wisdom before she met up against Molly Picklim here, Jesse.
Yeah, the whole event, she was just very smart surfing, identified big sections and matching with power. Even though she's so small, but she still was able to just go for broke every time, and somehow she landed most of them today. It was impressive to watch.
Yeah, this was pumping yesterday afternoon, and Katie Simmers, Mitch, just solid as ever. Almost double overhead for the fight.
It was double overhead for Caitlin Simmers, and beating Carissa right there in the semifinals and then going up in the final against Tyler Wright. You were talking about high-risk maneuvers. There's one right there. Found an excellent score in the final and eventually just found a rhythm out there, Kaipo, and was able to decipher a lineup that has been very confusing for a lot of rookies over the years. But guess what? She was able to conquer this place in her first year on the championship tour.
Big future. Could it be a changing of the guard? Well, that's an open conversation because a 17-year-old coming out and winning 2 events already this season. Big moment for the Californian. Huge moment. Let's take a look at the numbers for Katie Simmers. 8.33, 6.33. One side of the ferry in that final right there for Caitlin Simmers and the victory.
Yeah, Tyler Wright needing a 9 at the end and close but no cigar. And Katie Simmers 2 for 2 so far in terms of the finals. Some excellent performances all event long, and it seems like she saved the best for last.
She sure did. And I just see open space in front of Katie Simmers and her brand of what I call freestyle surfing, Jesse.
Yeah, what do you expect from her now? Like, we haven't seen much of her, but we already seen 2 wins in her rookie year. That's so impressive, and she's looking good to make to the top 5, and it's going to be exciting to see the rest of the year.
Final 5, Katie Simmers at Trestles. It's not confirmed, but she is well on her way. This is the race to that Final 5. We only got 2 more events yet before we establish all of that, Mitchell. Katie Simmers, though, another thing about the rookie is that if you think about her career, she actually said no to her first qualification to the championship tour, you know, and because she was qualified at such a young age. She's still a teenager. What's the future for Katie Simmers?
Well, we were actually talking to her father, Jesse, earlier today, and he said that fighting for a world championship this year wasn't really in their mind. I think it has to be now. You go to Lower Trestles, 30-minute north of Oceanside, California. It has to be a deciding moment right now. 17 years of age, you do it now, you might not ever have the chance to do it ever again, Kaipo. So I think this is a deciding moment for Caitlin Simmers' career. 17 years of age, could potentially be the first 17-year-old world champion in the history of the championship tour.
You're not too young for a world title. If all the cards play out right, I mean, we're seeing it. We're seeing that we know the talent's there. It's all about putting it together in the heats like she did just right here.
Yep.
Well, now it's time for us to look at the Natra Kayak Wave of the Day. Pretty obvious choice for the wave of the day today, because you can't get any better than a 10-point ride on a scale of 1 to 10. Happened in the final. What a perfect time for the wave of the day to happen, Jesse, for Yago Dora.
And just the way he executed, no time whatsoever, just eyeing it down, took off, no pumps, straight into a huge rotation. Perfect style right there, hands into there, letting it go the rail, rotating the head around and landing 6 foot from the skies into the flats.
Just into the flats, and look at the beach erupt with cheers, Mitchell.
Incredible moment here for the young Brazilian surfer, and that fan's reaction says it all. She was nearly ready to faint, but what a huge performance by this guy in the final 2, getting a perfect 10. Very few people have done it so far in their career.
Natra Kayak made of choices that respect the ocean. Plastic parts made from more than 50% of recycled plastic from Brazil's beaches. So thank you, Natra Kayak, for putting together and helping us present the wave of the day. So much stuff still to talk about here at the Corona Post Show as we get ready for our awards presentation. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is your takeaway, Jesse, from what you saw, because in this event on the men's side, we saw a lot of upsets with guys in the top 5 of the rankings coming in here. So things are going to get shooken up as we go to the leaderboard.
Yeah, this just shows how unpredictable surfing is and how much variables there are. And we lost a lot of guys early, and then we weren't even talking about Yago on the top 5 finish. And now he's, if I'm not mistaken, he's sitting in number 5, and he's just in the game. And that's what going into Jeffreys Bay, that he got 3rd last year, it's a great advantage for him.
Yeah, that's one thing. 10,000 points, Mitchell, will change the rankings in a big way for someone like Yago Dora. Well, you guys, let's make it official right now. And for that, let's go down to Joe Chappelle and Rachel Apollonio for our awards presentation.
Thank you so much, Kaipo. Oi, galera! So good to see you guys. What a special day in pro surfing history, and you all were such an amazing part of it. The fans here are the best in the entire world. We love your passion, we love your energy, and thank you to all of Saquarema for giving us this amazing wave for the world's best surfers that come here for stop number 8 on the World Surf League Championship Tour. Outstanding performances. Got to give it up for the wild cards. A legendary Brazilian named Silvana Lima in the mix. So great to see Silvana back in the CT jersey once again. And how about Samuel Pupo back as a wild card, showing up in a big way once again. Airs are back, progression's back on tour, and we saw some of the best airs of the season go down right here on Itaúna Beach. We really love this history that's a part of this event. This has been the biggest Vivo Rio Pro to date. How about that? With more human beings on the beach than any other year before. Big thanks to our regional sponsors, the City of Saquarema and Rio de Janeiro, our state government, and plus our local team for outstanding efforts this entire waiting period and beyond. Thank you to our WSL team, everyone around the world, and truly the best fans we've ever met right here in Brazil. Muito obrigado. Thank you so much.
Fala, galera! Muito bem-vindos à entrega de prêmios do Vivo Rio Pro apresentado por Corona. Essa aqui é a 8ª etapa do World Surf League, do Championship Tour de 2023. E assim, de volta ao Brasil, né, gente? Uma multidão com uma energia como nenhum outro lugar do mundo Honestamente, vocês são os melhores fãs do mundo. Excelentes performances hoje, grandes aéreos, né? Notas altas, tivemos um 10, surfistas incríveis. E esse evento vai ficar para a história como o maior Vivo Rio Pro até hoje. Com ativações cheias todos os dias, gente, mesmo nos days offs. Vocês mandaram muito, a praia ficou lotada. Apresentação da Esquadrilha de Fumaça e recorde de número de público na praia. Agradecimentos especiais aos patrocinadores, Prefeitura de Saquarema, ao governo do estado do Rio de Janeiro e, além disso, a equipe local, pelos seus esforços, toda a equipe da WSL. E um agradecimento especial a vocês, que são os melhores fãs do mundo!
Valeu, Rachel. Special thanks to our sponsors, our title sponsor, Vivo. Thank you so much. Our presenting sponsor, Corona. Tour sponsors, Red Bull, Yeti, Apple Watch, True Surf, Surfline, Banco do Brasil, TikTok, the Rio de Janeiro state government, the city of Saquarema, Australian Gold, Oakberry, Natura Kayak, EY, Globo, and Sport TV. Thank you so much. Obrigado.
Agradecimento aos nossos patrocinadores, Vivo, Corona, Red Bull, Yeti, Apple Watch, True Surf, Surfline, Banco do Brasil, TikTok, Estado do Rio de Janeiro, Cidade de Saquarema, Australian Gold, Oakberry, Natura Kayak, EI, Globo e Sport TV. Obrigada.
Valeu. Thank yous continue. The Mayor of Saquarema, Manuel Perez, the City of Saquarema, Rio de Janeiro State Government, to help with the Women's Runner-Up Trophy. We'd like to really thank Rafael Picciani for the support. Thank you so much. To present our women's event trophy, our champion will be Manuela Perez, the Mayor of Saquarema. Our men's runner-up trophy will be by the man himself, Ivan Martinho. Obrigado. Also, our men's winner trophy coming from the world-famous Renato Hickel. Thank you for all you do. Perfect. We're on the same page. Let's keep going. Introductions are incredible. For Yvonne, just to go further, as the president of WSL Latin America, we love you at the helm. Thank you for everything you do for us here in Brazil. Muito obrigado. Also for Manuela Perez, for the mayor, you host us so well. We love coming here to Saquarema. And Otto Hickel, our directors of tours and competition. He's been around for a long time and seen a lot of great surfing. Thank you so much. Rafael Picciani, the Rio de Janeiro State Government official, Secretary of Sports and Leisure. Thank you for being here and giving us such a great show.
Então, para ajudar com a entrega dessa premiação, a gente vai convidar para o palco Ivan Martinho, presidente da WSL Latinoamérica, Manuela Pérez, que é a prefeita de Saquarema, Renato Hickel, diretor do Tours and Competition, Rafael Picciani, secretário de Esporte e Lazer do Governo do Estado do Rio de Janeiro. Obrigada.
Okay, now the moment we've been waiting for, time to pass over some trophies to our finalists. I'd like to introduce your runner-up of the Vivo Rio Pro, presented by Corona. She's a two-time world champ, current world number 2. Let's hear it for Tyler Wright.
Agora a gente vai receber a vice-campeã, Tyler Wright.
Being so consistent this season, we'll pass her the runner-up trophy. Tyler, parabéns, congratulations on another special run in Brazil. You've won this event 3 times in the past. Your consistency at this venue is clear. What do you love about competing in this country?
I love Brazil, I love the energy, and I love that it's just, you got to be adaptable and flexible.
Finding more consistency this year than you felt in a long time. That must feel amazing to have this kind of run, being in more finals than anyone else on tour, heading into Jeffreys Bay.
Yeah, it's been nice. The process been great, and the team has been really, really good and refining what we're doing and as we go, and still learning in heats like that. So it's every heat we're not walking away going, oh yeah, we nailed that. We're walking away going, we've got so much to grow and to move and to keep going forward.
Love it. Enjoy the moment. Parabéns.
Thank you. Obrigado, everyone. Thank you.
A Tyler falou que ela ama o Brasil, ama a energia do Brasil, que aqui no Brasil tem que ser muito flexível e adaptável, né? Mas que ela está muito feliz, que esse ano tem sido um processo incrível, que ainda está aprendendo algumas coisas, mas agradeceu e está super feliz.
Thank you so much. I'd now like to introduce your runner-up in the men's final representing Australia. Now your world number 3. Let's hear it for Ethan Ewing. Ethan Ewing's been on a roll. He featured in the championship day last season and now on the podium for the first time in his career in this amazing country. When you walked out on the runway, Ethan, you dropped your game face. You couldn't help but crack the biggest smile I've seen you do all week long. What did that feel like?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. This crowd here is unlike any other event we get to surf in, and yeah, just it's been an amazing week. I have my dad here with me and been staying with a good crew, and just, yeah, really happy. I want to say a huge thank you to the fans for being so nice to me this week, and yeah, thank you.
Well done. Enjoy the moment, Ethan.
O Ethan também agradeceu a todos os fãs, que ele também foi muito apoiado aqui, falou que está feliz com o pai dele, com um grupo legal de amigos, e está agradecendo por essa torcida toda.
Exciting times for a young woman who's only 17 years of age, representing Oceanside, California. Let's hear it for your champion of the Vivo Rio Pro, presented by Corona, Caitlin Simmers. Second win this season. Right this way. Trophy time. Oh, thank you so much. I'm just going to squeeze in here. Caitlin, you've done this before. Your rookie season, 2 big wins. And this trophy probably feels a little bit more comfy holding it up on the podium.
Yeah, the last one was way heavier, but this one's pretty nice too. I don't know. I'm really thankful to be here. And I don't really have any words. I gave all my words in the last interview, but I don't know. I don't want to say I don't know, but I really just don't. So, yeah. Thank you to my sponsors. Thank you to my coach. Thank you to my family. And I don't know. I just love surfing, and I'm really enjoying it. So, yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Something we do know is that you're a lot of people's favorite surfers now, especially the way you carry yourself. We know you just love riding waves. But what's it like to get to compete and, win sometimes against your heroes?
Yeah, it's crazy to surf against your favorite surfers. Like, I don't know. I've been watching Tyler since I was like 12, but I don't know. It's really great. I had something else to say, but I can't remember. So, yeah.
I'll give you time to think about it. You're number 5 in the world now into the WSL Final 5. That's got to feel amazing heading into Jeffreys Bay.
Yeah, it feels good to have maybe a little more confidence than I did the last one. I don't know. I kind of needed it.
Did you remember what you wanted to say?
No. I don't know. I just have a lot of respect for everyone who does it because I don't know. It takes a lot to just never be home and be away from your family and be away from your friends. And I don't know. It's not easy, but it's rewarding when it happens.
Enjoy every second of it. I know you are. Caitlin Simmers, you are the champion of this event. Lift that trophy up.
Woo-hoo!
Okay, now let's head over this way. Quickly, Rachel, do you want to say something to the local fans here?
Yeah. Ela disse que ela não sabe muito bem o que dizer agora, porque ela já gastou as palavras dela na última entrevista, mas que ela assiste a Tyler desde que ela tem 12 anos, então que é uma sensação muito boa quando você vence seu ídolo, né? E que não é fácil ficar longe de casa, mas quando acontece a vitória, vale a pena. Então, palmas para nossa campeã, Caitlin Simmers.
Great job, parabéns. And that leaves one man left. I think you guys have a pretty good idea who it is. Let's make it really loud for a man that just won his first championship tour event of his career. Your champion of the Vivo Rio Pro, presented by Corona. Let's hear it for Yago Dora. How special is this? Yago Dora, the champion of the Vivo Rio Pro, presented by Corona. Is this starting to sink in now, my friend?
Oh, this is unbelievable. I tried to picture this moment inside my mind for a really long time, and this day finally came and in front of my Brazilian fans. And I want to speak in Portuguese, can I? Obrigado, galera! Brasil! Cara, tô muito feliz. A energia de vocês só me faz crescer, só me faz ser melhor. Agradecer de coração a cada um de vocês que veio aqui, faça chuva, faça sol, e esperou todos esses dias para o evento rolar. E a recompensa está aqui, o título fica no Brasil, é nosso e é de todos vocês também. Pode ter certeza que vocês têm um pedacinho disso aqui. E agradecer minha família, uma parte dos meus melhores amigos estão aqui. Acho que não tinha dia melhor para isso acontecer e hoje foi esse dia, chegou a nossa vez. Vamos!
Não só ganhou, como ganhou com 10 ainda, né? Palmas pro campeão Yago Dora.
Thank you so much. What a special time for Yago. As we set up this podium celebration, we'll get Caitlin and Yago to go on top. Ethan and Tyler on the runner-up stage of the podium. Here are your champions. Let's hear it loud. Yago Dora moving up to number 5 in the world. The same scenario for Caitlin Simmers. And congrats to the Australians for a big fight here on Finals Day.
O Yago agora foi para a 5ª posição no ranking. Parabéns para todos vocês.
We'll continue to enjoy the celebrations here on stage and continue to run through the Corona Post Show as we send it back to Kaipo.
Yeah, what a great celebration. I love the podiums there for the celebration as well. But more importantly, Mitchell, both Katie Simmers, Yago Dora now above that final 5 cut line after event number 8.
Yeah, memorable moment for both of their careers, but Yago Dora getting his first career CT win at home in Brazil. Moves up 7 spots, Kaipo. That's drastically a big change for Yago Dora. He's now in the conversation to potentially clinch a spot on the WSL Final 5 in the next 2 events, whether in J-Bay or in Tahiti.
Yeah, I love the story there. Jesse, you got to feel a little bit of pride for Brazil right now, having a friend of yours take a win here.
I know, it's impressive. Yago kind of started late. We were already surfing, everyone, me, Ian, and he kind of would come to the trips with us, but not really surf so much. And then all of a sudden started developing backflip after 3 years, putting effort into surfing. And then right now everything paying off, and not just to him, but to his dad, Leandro Dora, to putting all the effort behind as well.
Yeah, that's impressive. And Leandro, you know, great job, dad and coach, to make this happen. I just saw it just outpouring of love in the Dora camp leading up to this victory. We're going to switch gears right now and take a look at our Women's Championship Tour rankings after stop number 8 on the Championship Tour, because things have shifted a little bit on those rankings as we go live time. Carissa Moore, she will remain in the yellow leader's jersey, but look at this. Katie Simmers above that cut line at number 5, Mitchell.
And look at the difference between number 5 and number 6 in terms of the points. 38,660 for Katie Simmers, 31,625, nearly 7,000 points of difference between 5 and 6.
And remember, both Carissa Moore and Tyler Wright have clinched their spots already in that final 5. So on the women's side, we only have 3 available spaces for that Rip Curl WSL Finals coming up. What we do now is move on and move to our attention to stop number 9 on the Championship Tour. That's Jeffreys Bay, South Africa, and our defending champ, Tatiana Weston Webb, Mitchell. The backhand in full display, and Tati's going to be a weapon at J-Bay.
Well, and she's needing a result too, and it can come at a better time as she's able to replicate the victory that she had last season at the long walls of Jeffreys Bay. You look into conditions last year, just really played to her strengths, Kipes. Big waves, big sections. She's been victorious in many different locations. Just as J-Bay, we shall see if she can be able to replicate these experiences in 2023.
What a dream wave, and we're hoping for swell there at Jeffreys Bay, and really is going to show the surfers with a skill set that is able to adapt from different types of surfing. What's going to be on call there? Long right point break, and how you can put together that performance throughout the length of that entire ride. Doro's still on stage, celebrating victory in front of the home crowd. Talking about Iago Dora, we'll turn our attention onto the men's CT rankings post stop number 8 here at Brazil. Iago Dora, he's above the cut line there, and look at world champs John Florence and Gabriel Medina. Jesse, they got some work to do at J-Bay.
Definitely, and Iago wasn't even in the picture as we came into this place, but a event win is so many points that just made him jump all the way through there, and now we have some work. But coming up into J-Bay, we have Gabriel Medina, defending champ already in the past few years, and John Florence. Very good events, very good venues for them, so they're definitely going to put a run into the show.
Ethan Ewing, he moved up to number 3 on the rankings from number 4 with a runner-up finish here. And Ethan going to be rolling with some momentum into J-Bay, an event that he took a win at last year. He's our defending champ, Mitch.
Yeah, no, he looked incredible last season, and especially with the waves that we had on offer too. You see the long walls there, and his style that just suits these beautiful and incredible waves. Winning a Winky Pop earlier this season with the drastic, and changing conditions that we saw throughout the course of the event. He's just looking great. On a roll right now, Kaipo. Semifinal finish, at the Surf Ranch, a spot that a lot of people didn't really expect him to do that well. Yeah. And he got a final finish here in Rio.
So this footage right here is from Winky Pop. That's his win over at Bell's, just to clarify what we're looking at right here. He's also the winner at J-Bay, flying by here. The big crowds stick around for a beautiful afternoon here at Itaúna Point, at Saquarema. We're going to take a break right now, you guys, and we're going to come back with the top 5 of the event and much, much more. We'll be back with more of the Corona Post Show right after this. Welcome back to the Corona Post Show here at the Vivo Rio Pro, presented by Corona. It's been a glorious finals day here in Saquarema. The crowds have come out, the support has come out, and it's time for everyone to enjoy this afternoon. It's a beautiful afternoon here. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kaipo, along with Jesse Mendez and Mitchell Salazar. We saw that promo coming into this piece about the Bolito Pro. Stop number 3 on the Challenger Series. Mitchell, your thoughts on that upcoming event?
Well, I'm really excited to see some new names. Really excited to see some people qualify that are potentially from my side of the world. Kata Matson, Cole Houshman, is coming off the last victory in the Challenger Series in North Narrabeen. Really cool to see some people from over there. But how about the South Africans too? Aiden Mason-Camp, Luke Slipen, a couple of local wildcards that could potentially win the event, Kaipo.
Jesse, you know about Bolito. You scored a perfect 10 there.
Yeah, and I'm actually very excited because that year was 2011, and I was just talking to the boys yesterday morning. They were getting drained. There's a lot of sand close to the rocks, which it makes it very interesting for there, and we have a kind of a good swell coming their way, so it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and I want you all to check into worldsurfleague.com, 7 a.m. local South African time. That's where we're going to make the call. We're going to have a dawn patrol there to set up the day 1 of the Bolito Pro, presented by O'Neill, just around the corner now. So lots of stuff to look forward to. That's halfway through the Challenger Series, and we're looking at some names. Jacob Wilcox on the men's side, out in front. He's been one of those surfers, Mitchell, that, it always felt like he should be on the championship tour. Is this going to be the year that he breaks through?
Ooh, it's $1 million question right there. And I think the only way he's making it on the CT, Kaipo, is by winning a Challenger Series event. Could start here in Bolito, especially if the waves are pumping, like Jesse said. We could be seeing that happen in a week.
Yeah. So Jacob Wilcox in leading that. India Robinson on the women's side leading that. the winner here from the men's division, Yago Dora, he did a lot of good stuff. He did a lot of good surfing. But he also joined us to plant some mangroves for WSL One Ocean. We had that activation prior to the event. Let's check out what we did with WSL One Ocean.
Today we're here in the Lagoon of Saquarema, right behind the contest. We're giving back a little bit of our love and our attention to Saquarema that is always giving so much to us.
We want to spread the word about surfing ecosystems.
WSL One Ocean is a global initiative aimed at inspiring the surf community to protect and conserve our One Ocean to preserve the future of surfing. Today, we are joining forces in Brazil with Surf Conservation Partnership, along with Instituto Aprender Ecologia and Conservation International Brazil, to protect this incredible wave and irreplaceable marine and coastal ecosystem here in Saquarema.
This lagoon goes all the way to the ocean, and it's really important to protect all the pollution and all the trash from going into the ocean.
We have to preserve not only the surf break, but also everything that surrounds it.
We're trying to remove litter from the oceans. We're trying to remove litter from the lake.
We are here in the lagoon. We're going to start to get some trash. I think we're going to plant some native plants too, protecting that place because it's so pretty.
We came to plant native plants. This is very good for the ecosystem.
What we really want to do is make sure that this information is passed on to the next generations, to the local kids.
It's important that we do our part and try to preserve the places we go to and take good care of it.
By protecting nature, we are ensuring water provision, food, and a stable climate. There's more than 30 million surfers globally, so we understand that they're really ambassadors for protecting ocean. It's about surfing, it's about nature, and it's about people.
As surfers and ocean lovers, we have the power to ignite waves of change for our one precious ocean.
Speak up for the ocean. Your action can inspire others.
Drop your sustainability story using the hashtag WSL1Ocean.
Remember to tag WSL and WSL One Ocean in your post. New look, same mission.
That's it.
WSL One Ocean! We love that. Everywhere we go, you know, we have our activations, and really our goal is to inspire everyone to do some stuff on their own, and also to leave every stop better than we found it. And so thanks to the whole crew over there at WSL One Ocean. Another factor, Jesse, that we have here when we look at the World Tour is our Vissla CT Shaper rankings. And now it's getting competitive with all the surfboard manufacturers. Let's take a look at the standings of our Vissla CT Shaper rankings, because some guys in San Clemente are starting to run away with it. 184,000 points to Mayhem, Jesse.
That's very impressive. Almost 40,000 points on top of second place, and that just shows how much talent is on top of their board. So they're doing a great job this year.
Interesting to see. Mitchell, as we look at Sharp Eye, they actually have the most players in the game, but they're sitting at number 3.
They do, and DHD still in number 2nd, 148,030 points. But how about Mayhem? Back-to-back wins. I just want to say, he was way down in the rankings at the beginning of the year, and look at him now. He is way far out in front. Good job to Matt Bios and the whole crew there in San Clemente, Kaipo.
Yeah, and Matt, we expect you, if you do win this thing, we want to see you in yellow. I know you like wearing black, but we're going to figure out a yellow jersey for you, Matt Bios. Well, this is always my favorite time.
Top 5.
It's time for the top 5. Let's get into the top 5 of our entire event here at the Vivo Rio Pro, presented by Corona. Number 5, start off with an air show. Rio Waida took to the skies.
Yeah, and impressive, because he actually ended up going to the elimination round. He's still with that performance, with that big straighty. Super fun to watch in the first day of competition with the smaller conditions. Here as well, huge rotation. Also going into the elimination round, even with that type of maneuver. So impressive right there.
8-point ride for Samuel Pupo on that air. Gabe Medina got focused and then took to the air.
Well, he had some amazing stuff on day 1. Kaipo also then ended up losing this heat to the eventual champion of the event, Yago Dora, who himself in that heat, scored this 8.83 for an incredible backside rotation himself.
Yeah, that was so inverted, upside down, so hard to do backside to get that tail that high and be able to rotate all the way around. And we literally had an air show on the first day and finish it off right here with John Florence with a huge rotation under priority on top of Jordy Smith that ended up going left.
Did you say 9-point alley-oop? That's right for John Florence. Italo Ferreira, always solid. Look at him stomp this one in the flats, Mitchell.
Well, and he had a couple of these in the same heat, too. But he just came out like a man on a mission, eventually made it into the round of 16, but wasn't able to get past that, Kipes.
Number 4, a different kind of air show, Jesse. It was the Brazilian Air Force that put on a show one afternoon. This was absolutely incredible.
That was one of the best presentations I've ever watched in my life. Esquadrilha da Fumaça is very famous here in Brazil, but I was never able to watch it live, and that was impressive. I got back from Arraial do Cabo, which is a little bit up north from here, exactly at 4 p.m. and straight into the show. It was beautiful to watch. We had such a good time, and the beach was packed.
Absolutely packed. Some daredevil stunts there, Mitchell Salazar, that we were able to witness.
Can we put in a request to maybe be in a jet ourselves next year? I'm actually down to do that a little bit, Kipes.
And number 3 came in as an injury replacement wild card. But you know what? Jadson Andre, Jesse, took down world number 1, Griffin Colapinto.
He loves that type of pressure. He loves being the underdog. We've seen it before in many of situations with him on tour, on the WT and the QS, and right here, just very smart surfing for him, identifying critical sections and just put an exclamation.
Yeah, so that victory and the elimination of Griffin Colapinto put Felipe Toledo in the yellow leader's jersey. But Felipe is due to come up against Jadson Andre in the next round. So we'll see Felipe in yellow when we go to J-Bay. But Jadson had some ideas against his good friend here in this heat, Mitchell.
Back-to-back heats where he took out the eventual number 1 in the world and Felipe Toledo, as you were mentioning. And it was a come-from-behind win, too. He was trailing most of the heat, and this wave right here was actually the wave that that allowed him to move up into first place, take the lead. Felipe went for the big rotation, came in complete, and eventually lost the heat, Kipes.
Yeah, and also to report that Felipe will be okay, and we're expecting him in J-Bay. Number 2, the winner for the women's, Jesse, Katie Simmers.
Stand out. Look how big that wave is. That was yesterday afternoon, just identifying critical sections and big sections, mostly for herself. She's so young and so small, and just putting the world champs to do work, and it wasn't enough, actually. She took them down.
Taking down Carissa Moore, the semifinals, taking down Tyler Wright in the finals, Mitchell.
Yeah, back-to-back finals for Tyler Wright, El Salvador and Punta Roca, and here at Praia de Itaúna. But for Caitlin Simmers, 2 victories for 2 finals. Just another day at Northside Jetty in Oceanside Kaipo. Big victory for her here in Brazil. Her first time competing here in South America as well.
But look at that. Talk about commitment. Katie Simmers attacking the lip.
17 years of age. Could we be seeing our first 17-year-old world champion, Kaipo? That could be happening in September at Lowers.
Number 1. Rolling into number 1. After all that, Yago Dora, number 1. It was an inspirational performance, a magical performance. Home country for Yago Dora, taking his first CT win. The goofy foot really shone here at Itaúna, Jesse.
Yeah, perfect surfing for him. Look at his layback, how much release and how much board control he has. And actually it was my pick to beat Felipe after 3 events back-to-back win here. And it was just so amazing to watch him flow through every round of this event. It was beautiful to watch.
What a way to come out a winner, Mitchell, in this final, Mitchell. Not only did Yago win the final, he scored a 10-point ride.
Yes, he did. Opened up with a 4.83 right here on the back end, and some supernatural stuff from the surfer from the southern part of Brazil. This senda that you're mentioning right here, only the second one we've seen all season long. A great rotation, a beautiful landing, and took the lead. Never looked back after that, Kipes.
And I don't get tired of watching that. It's impressive how beautiful and perfect that was executed.
Yeah, I can watch that a dozen times. And a day to remember for Iago Dora. A well-deserved victory here at stop number 8 on the championship tour. Feels better at home, I'm sure. And we're continuing on. You know what? We got so much to talk about. We got so much still on the calendar, you guys. We got Bolito. That's coming up July 2nd. So tune in to WorldSurfLeague.com. July 2nd for that. The Dawn Patrol. That's the stop number 3 on the Challenger Series. July 13th. Stop number 9 on the Championship Tour. The J-Bay Corona Open. That's when that waiting period starts. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Mitchell. It's been a great run in Brazil. Thank all of you for watching and enjoy the end of the event highlights. Check into WorldSurfLeague.com for all of our updates.
Here in Brazil to kick us off in the opening round of the Vivo Rio Pro presented by Corona. Starting off with the opening round for the women. Backhand snap from Gabriela Bryant.
Tyler Wright.
You see the combo right there. Strong snap to the floater with a larger set wave too. That should score very well, Kaipo.
Caroline Marks, big slash there. Eases through another carve. No problem for Caroline Marks. Looking smooth, gets the finish.
The men have hit the lineup. Opportunity for Waida. Tail high reverse. And he pulls that one off. Ewing setting up that big blast. Solid start. Second move, big bird from the Australian. Throws it up for a third time. Can he finish? Climbing snap to shut it down. Setting up a backside hack is Joao Chianca. Getting a dominant victory on his home court.
Let's see what Felipe Toledo has in store for us. Stabs it up in the lip, chops it down. Carves through that second section. Looking in control. Needs a little bit more towards the end. A quick snap to make it down the line. And a little caught up, but forces the finish. Sammy Pupo looking down the line, looking for a ramp, finds it. Stomps that landing. Big rotation. That's what happens in Brazil for Gabe Medina.
Setting up the punts. Gets there early for the big rotation above the lip. Dora inverted. Upside down, backside full rotation. Iago Dora putting on a show. Goes down a serious frontside carve.
Here we go, John. Throws it up and puts it down. Ferreira. Wow. He's got some energy.
But now these are the heavy heats, the important ones for the title race. Carissa on a roll, drills it, bit more vertical on the third and final effort. Betty Lou, Sakura Johnson takes out the 8-time world champ, former event winner, and will be reseeded into the quarterfinals.
Bom dia and good morning. This is the Vivo Rio Pro presented by Corona.
Jaddy's got a left to run after here. Setting up a big finish. Comes in as a wild card replacement for Kelly Slater and eliminates world number 1. Snap, getting back to the lip for a float. Hanging in there, and he will get the completion.
Sammy Pupo on into the round of 16. Medina eliminated from competition. Mamiya throws it tail high, inverted. The upsets continue.
Priority interference on Jack Robinson now.
Into the round of 16 for the men. Samuel on the left. A couple of ribs in the face to deal with. Oh, and here he is with that layback slide. One of the patented maneuvers from Arcal.
Ethan able to square up nice and vertical. How about the timing off the lip? And the big man crushed it. Fioravanti needs a 5.44 tail high reverse. He nails it.
Felipe Toledo goes down and upset Jadson Andre into the quarterfinals.
Going to be setting up for a great finals day.
Yago Dora, big hack there. Beautiful. Back up, well-timed finish.
Nice snap to start. Perfect transition to shut it down. John into the quarterfinals. Barron finding a tail-high whip.
As we enter into the women's quarterfinals. Right, slashes on the top, a little release. One more time. Exciting start to this ride. Carefully executes that final turn. Here goes Caroline. Nice carve. Winds up off the bottom. Needs to attack this. Does so with the backwash. Manages that turn. One more snap for Caroline.
Big opportunity. Carissa drills it off the lip. Hard off the bottom and lays into a hammer of a turn. A big section for Caitlin Simmers. Talk about a sizable wall. Good morning, everybody. Happy finals day. We're starting off with the men's quarterfinals. Arkal sets up his first hook. Absolutely drills it. How about that? Lean back hammer to shut it down. Ewing's got the corner bowl, setting up a second move already. A lot of water moving off that DHD, and he'll kind of lay back and recover.
Yago winds up off the bottom, carves off the top. One more wind off the bottom, lay back hack off the top, some variety. Looking down the line, gets the tail loose on that finishing maneuver. Barron finding the barrel, and the crowd enjoys that. 8.93, just dropping for John Florence, and he has turned the heat. You want a show? We brought you a show, Sakuraba.
Welcome to the semifinals. Two-time world champ digs in. Backhand carve. Tyler Wright into another CT final. Big wall there for Caitlin Simmers. Driving off the bottom, nice wrap off the top. She has room. Massive moment for young Caitlin Simmers.
We have our first finalist for the men. It's going to be Ethan Ewing. Here's Dora under priority. Lay back with a little slide there for Yago. Easy cutback. And the beach erupts because Yago Dora is on to the final. Look at the scene.
It's time for the final. Check out this beach. She goes off the lip into a float. Caitlin Simmers, champion of the Vivo Rio Pro, presented by Corona. Yago, the goofy foot, setting this one up. Yago Dora, your champion of the 2023 Vivo Rio Pro, presented by Corona.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.